Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to show you how to set up the game using the mat. Now, if you don't have the mat, it works exactly the same. You're going to need the core box, and you're going to need one of these missions, if you will. I'm assuming I'm going to start with the Hans the Butcher with the Camp Happy Trails on the other side, because I feel like this is the one that you should start with. I think this is absolutely a great starting spot for the game. There are 2 mats for the game. I'm going to show you kind of where everything goes and kind of how to utilize the map to the best of my abilities. For this mat right here, the majority of your stuff is going to come from the core box. Now, you will need one of these boxes in order to play the game. Probably when you bought it, it came with one. If not, you're buying it second hand. Just kind of know you will need both of these. And I'll show you. I'm going to utilize this one. I think this is a great starting spot because this one doesn't have any additional rules for it. It's very straightforward. So let me go ahead and show you how to set up. So when you have a magnetic box that's going to be in here, you can kind of set that aside. You're going to have a lore and scenario book that you can set aside. It gives you some background on what's going on. Then you're going to have your instruction manual. Now, this would be the normal board that you would utilize in the game. You're not going to need that because I'm utilizing the map. So kind of know that's what's going on right there. And when you open this up, it's going to be very easy to do. You're going to take the time and you're going to put it on the 6 right there. You are also going to take one of the killer meeples and you're going to start it out on 4. Now that's going to be utilized through which one of these bad guys that you use. So we're going to be playing Hans. You can see here on this, it's going to be on a 4. Now this is going to be the box. So when you open this up, you're going to take off the box, whichever bad guy you're playing as, and it will tell you where that mark will start. So in this case, we will be starting on the 4, which tells you we have 2 dice to roll each time. Also, you're going to pick a final girl to be. Now, each of the sets of bad guys are going to come with different one of these, but any of the final girls can be utilized. You're going to stick her here, and then you're going to get a number of hearts that are listed on her thing. So this tells you 5 hearts. So you're going to utilize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hearts. And then you will randomly take one of these black tokens, you don't know what's on the other side, and you will stick it right there. So you get your 5 hearts, and you have your girl here. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your action cards. They're going to have a deck that will come in the core box. There may be additional action cards for each of the bad guys or locations, but we're just using the ones in the box. You're going to take these, and you're going to separate them. So we got a sprint, we got a search, we got an improvise, and some of these will have doubles, and you just need to put them out everywhere. Doesn't matter where they go, just so if they're 2 of the same, they are in the same location. It just makes it easier for you to be able to read. Now, anything with a 0 time on it will go right here where it says 0 action, and you can just kind of set those there. That's a 0. You got your guard cards, you got your focus, and you walk. And you're going to take all the 0 cards, and these will become your starting hand. And you look down here, it has 0 time. So those will all go right there, and this will be your starting hand as you go. That's pretty much how this board is going to work and how to set up. As your hearts go out, you can bring them down here if you so choose, or maybe cards that can be set here. You have a little play area. This is where you want to play your discard cards. So as I play cards, maybe I'll put them right in this location just to utilize that they've been discarded. This will be your hand. So you can have up to 2 items in your hand as long as they only have the 1 area. So when you get to the item cards, you'll see that some of these have 2 hands. If this archery bow is 2 hands, it would just sit here in the center to utilize that it's taking up both hands. If you have some of these that will only have 1 hand, they can go on the side here, say on your left hand, and then if you get another item, it can go on the other side and take up both spaces equal 2 hands. Then you're going to have some items that don't have hands on them at all. They can be utilized from the backpack. And you can always store things in the backpack that you're not actively using if you want to. And that's how that's going to kind of fill up. You're going to put the people that die over here because there may be some cards that trigger over that. And any tokens that you might need to go there. So that's kind of set up for this first one. That gives you a good overview of how this will be organized. Now this is a good example here of how to organize it, how to utilize it. So when the time is spent, you can just kind of move this down. This guy will move up or down depending on the gameplay, etc. Now I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to show you the next board. So here is the second board. The first thing you can do is you can take the cover of the box and put the bad guy down there. In addition, you'll take the location, the box art for that. It's literally this side of the box. And you'll set this down, and this will be the location of what you're playing. And this is modular, so this will change every single time. Then you're going to shuffle up the item deck for the location, and you'll put 3 of these face down at each location. And as you can see, it lines up here with where they're going to be at. So this pile is the cabins, this pile is the dock, and this pile is the utility shed. Then you'll take 1 more and put it face up at each location. And then you'll set aside the rest of them. They probably won't be utilized in the game. You will take the event deck for the location, and you will put it on the event deck, and we'll come back to that in a moment. You will also shuffle the setup cards, which we will then flip over, and we'll look and see what is going on. And what this setup is going to show you, this one right here is going to show you where the kill will start. So you'll take the other red meeple, and you'll put him at this location up there. This will also tell you where the final girl will go, which you'll take her meeple, and you'll put it at that location. It will also, these numbers also represent how many victims are at every location. So this one says there'll be 2 victims there. There'll be 1 here. There'll be 1 down here. And there will be 6 at this location here. And you'll glean all that from this right here, this setup, and this will be randomized every time. Then you can turn over the top event card and do what it says. Place a Dark Waters token on the lake. All victims at the lake are killed. Whenever a victim enters the lake, they are killed immediately. So this is something that's going to be happening in this game. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that token and put this at the lake. And then anybody there would die. And whenever a victim enters the lake, they will die also. And that will change every time you play. Then you get a number of head things for the bad guy. You'll shuffle these up, and you'll put 1 face down here. And then you'll take the bottoms, and you'll shuffle these up, and you'll place 1 down here. So every game you play, the bad guy may act a little bit differently, but you'll have it set up. And this will tell you on his turn that he'll immediately kill somebody at his location. Then you're going to take the 2 terror decks. Each bad guy, which will be this, and every location, which will be that, will have a terror deck. You'll shuffle the terror deck together, and then you're going to deal out 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rest will be put back. You won't need them. This will be like the timer of the game, and that'll be set right there. Any additional victims that you have that haven't been put out will be put over here, so you can utilize those. And you put your Bloodlust token out here at the bottom, and you are set up and you're ready to go. What you have here is the location, the board, kind of where you're playing. You have the items ready. You got your setup. Your event card is ready to go. Your terror deck is set up, and you have your bad guy. And that's how easy it is to set up and play Final Girl. Now, every time you play, you may choose a different bad guy. You may choose a different location. All of them are tangled, so you could do this one with a different location, or this location with a different bad guy. That's fine too. Although I do recommend the first time you play starting with Hans the Butcher and Camp Happy Trails. I hope that helped you learn how to set up Final Girl, at least get you started. The book was a little confusing to me, and I really, really hope this helps.